Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we are looking at a PS3 B01. This was supposed to be the greatest V01 you've ever seen ever, but unfortunately it doesn't work. As you saw, it has the yellow light of death, and um, the Frankie work was done to it, and everything was going swimmingly well until it was not. The issue we are running into today is it has I think it's like an OS error, which if I'm correct, the OS error it's like a FatalOS error. So it boots up and it's not like your usual low firmware where it either goes green light of death or 3034 or whatever. So I'm assuming it probably gave out when we not me, but when whomever owned it prior to me decided they wanted to update it maybe, or something to do with the firmware, and now she doesn't work. So if we look at our syscon logs, when I do the beautiful bring up, that it kind of starts to boot, and then we get a fatal request error by OS. No idea what that means. It looks like from the BE loader it's 4.2.1, so I would assume that it's not a low firmware. So today's plan is to make the B01 great and beautiful again. So we're going to reintroduce our friend, the Nand reader. If you haven't seen my red screen of death video or a Nand related video, this is a wonderful tool called the Flash Cat. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull the Nand here, and there's a Nand on the bottom side, read it, dump it, verify it, clean it up, and put it all back together. And hopefully by the end of this, we'll have a beautiful working B01 Frankie station. So yeah, let's get pulling, I suppose. Welcome to the world of an PS3 motherboard. As you see, there's my beautiful 40 nanometer, and if you are doing NAND related stuff, this is the top side when you open it. So this guy over here is the T for top, and this one here is the B for bottom. So let me know if you are the top NAND or bottom NAND. For this one, I will just write, I like to keep myself a way to remember, so I'm just going to put a big old T for top. There are a few ways you can remove this NAND chip. Yeah, so that's board. You see how beautiful and small it is. And that's the close-up of the NAND chip. You can heat it up. You can add leaded solder. Heat all the pads. Use like tweezers and kind of lift this side and do it on that side. You can do the same with hot air. You can just use hot air. Your choice. Do as you please. I'm going to tin it with leaded solder. Probably hot air it off. And yeah, do that twice, and then we'll come back when we have it in the Flash Cat. So let's remove some NANDs. And while we do that, I would like to say thank you to today's sponsor, PCBWay, the premier destination for top quality printed circuit boards. In a short span, PCBWay has become the go-to choice for seamless online ordering, rapid prototyping, and unparalleled customization. From hobbyists like myself to industry leaders, PCBWay has earned the trust through its commitment to precision and reliability. Cutting-edge technology and a skilled team ensure that every PCB meets the highest standards. Beyond circuits, PCBWay fosters a vibrant community of creators, turning ideas into reality. Join the innovation wave with PCBWay, where quality meets ingenuity. Alrighty, welcome to the beautiful world of NAND dumping. So this is our Flash Cat. The way it works is you press down here, you slap the NAND in, you let go with, I guess, tension. It detects the NAND, it will read the NAND, you can write to the NAND. You're looking for this little circle on the top left, well, my top left, as the identifier of how to place the NAND. So if we look at our NAND chip, you'll see there's a little circle on the top left where I wrote T for top. So I'm just gonna press her down, throw her in, as you see, let her go, and boom, done. If you put the NAND in and you open the app and it doesn't detect the NAND, sometimes I just like to go like this, spray some IPA, that usually gives her a go. You're gonna need to use, if we look in the PC world, because we don't need to do anything hardware wise anymore, you're gonna need FlashCat USB build 585. In the folder of said FlashCat build, there's gonna be a firmware you need to install on this when you plug it in, and there's a driver folder. You're gonna need to install those drivers or else FlashCat won't function properly. You're gonna have to reboot if you're using 10 or 11 to, I think it's the advanced boot option. So basically you're holding down shift when you press on the start in the Windows button. I think you're pressing 7 for advanced boot options. You're restarting again. You're disabling enforce driver, whatever it is. So that way you can install your FlashCat drivers, or else if you try, it won't work. And basically when we plug the FlashCat in, you'll see red light, blue light. Blue light usually means we're good to go. If you look on the PC, we'll see that new device connected Samsung K9F1G08UOA, which means we're good to go. The other thing you want to make sure of is in mode, you go to protocol settings, check your NAND settings, and you want this to be combined, not separated or segmented. These won't give you a full NAND dump. If you open it and you don't see this option, that means you're not on the right version of FlashCat, so get that fixed. And from here, we're going to hit NAND X8 Flash. You're going to hit this beautiful button on the left that says read memory to disk. Hit OK. Give her a name of what you want it to name and save it somewhere you want to save it to, that you'll remember. So I'm going to call this B01 top. And then there'll be a B01 bottom. When I hit save, you'll see on the bottom that it's going to start saving it. And it's going to be pretty slow. And you'll see over here that there's a blinking blue light that'll keep going. So if I remember correctly, reading isn't that bad. Reading maybe takes like 5-8 minutes. Writing's a part that's slow, that takes about 20 minutes to chip. So grab some coffee, put an hour aside for doing NAND dump things, and hopefully it'll all go well for you. Do as I say, not as I do, because I am not a pro. So see you on the other side. Okay, so now that we have all of our NANDs dumped, so I did 2 copies of the top and 2 copies of the bottom. I'm gonna open up Flow Rebuilder, and we're gonna do unscrambled and interleave 2 NAND flashes into 1 unified dump. So we need to give it our top. So I saved mine on my desktop, and you'll see that I called it B01 top, B01 top 2, bottom 1, bottom 2. So I'm gonna do top. I'm gonna do bottom 1. And the output, I'm just gonna, I don't know, we'll just call it interleaved. And we should be able to execute operation. And the file has been created, and now we should be able to check our file. And the way we do that is we can use PS3 dump checker, and if we open this guy up and we drop our interleaved, hopefully we won't have an error. Okay, so it's 421.410, lowest downgrade to 1.0. You can patch image here. I'm going to choose not to. There's like tons of options you can do. So I'll just check one more place. We can also use PS3 checker, and I think the way it works is, I haven't used this one yet, so we'll drag and drop our dump here, and we'll hit run anyway. And it looks like we're good. 131 checks, 0 danger, 0 warning. Everything seems okay. So yeah, we're good. So from here, you can choose however you want to build it. I like to use PS3 Flash Tool version 4.0, so I'm just going to patch for 4.70 custom firmware. Okay, so once it's done, it'll create a unified patch, a bottom patch, and a top patch. So now we need to do everything in reverse. Go back into our FlashCat. So we still have our bottom chip in, so B01 bottom 2. So I'm gonna click on the second button, which is write data to memory, and we will select the bottom patched. Alrighty, so we got the NANDs put back, so one NAND's there, the other NAND's on the bottom, got my syscon wired back up. Let's see if we made any progress. So I'm going to auth in, so we're gonna type in, whoa, AUWTH. And all went well there. We're gonna auth in, and we're gonna do the good old bring up, and ooh, we get 93,000, 093,000, so I guess we at least fixed our NAND issue, so FatalOS is gone. But the 3003, I believe that's a token issue. So, let's see. Whoops, wrong one. Yes, 3003 cell core power failure with the tokens. So I usually change them out. So I'm going to, let's remove power supply. Let me see if I got this right. Cell RSX. So cell RSX. Token. I'm gonna just replace these two for now, and then we'll try again to power it on, and hopefully we'll get further along in the sequence. But yeah, this is what it's like working on a PS3. Sometimes they go downhill very fast, but NAND issues resolved, so hopefully that's good, and hopefully we'll get going somewhere else. So be back when we swap out these with the tantalizers. Okay, so we got our tokens in place. So I removed the two from the CPU side and I put on the tantalizers. So hopefully that'll, you know, give us something. So let's do a bring up. And we still get yellow out of death. And if I press enter, we're getting 3003, which could be the same issue. I'm going to check the tantalizers, see if they're shorted. Maybe it's the cell? Let me take it apart and we'll test some things. Okay, so I got my 3003 issue fixed. It actually wasn't the tokens at all. It was on the NAND chips. I had a few loose pins, so I soldered those pins together, booted it up. Unfortunately, I don't have my screen recording on, but as you see there, still getting the FatalOS error that you see. So what I ended up doing was I soldered the SB UART. So you see it there, ran it, and I'm getting that. So LV1 fail error. So I need to figure out what that is and how to fix it. It's gonna have something to do with the NAND. Even though the all blocks show fine, there's still some other issues. So I'm gonna have to dig into this and figure it out. I haven't rebuilt NANDs, but I'm assuming it's something to do with the LV0, LV1 portion of it. So I'm gonna do some digging to figure out how to rebuild that. Maybe we have to rebuild it from scratch or something. I'm not sure, because usually, like you saw me do, patching it for 3.55 or custom firmware would normally fix that issue, but clearly it isn't in this case. So let's see if we can figure this part out. Alrighty, so this is where we currently stand with this console. So back there, if you look, I have my SB UART stuff plugged in again, and I have SB UART set up on my screen. So let me plug in the power supply. So now we got standby power, and if I press it there, it's gonna boot, and we're gonna go back to yellow light of death. And if we look over here, you will notice that I have downgraded it again to 3.55. So it's supposed to be 3.55 factory service mode, where you put the jig and all that, and I'm still stuck on the LD1 LV LDR stop with stop code 2, and then it says load LV1 fail. So essentially what I ended up doing was we tried with the patching it with the 470 custom firmware, which normally would work. That didn't work. So the NANDs were checked, the NAND dumps, and they ended up having a few ECC errors, which I don't think were that big of a deal, but they were remapped with the 3.55 firmware, put them on, and we're back at the same place. We know it's not a hardware issue, at least that's what the thought is. It's not an RSX thing. It might be some kind of communication issue between the NAND and Syscon, but no one's really sure right now. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to leave it here. Can't fix them all, unfortunately, so if there ever is a solution or something comes up, or if someone knows how to fix this, let me know. You leave a comment. If you check on PSX Place, there's a thread I open trying to seek help. Maybe we can bring this back one day, but for now it seems like it's toast in the sense of software OS side. So unfortunately, we'll leave it here. So yeah, if you thought this was interesting, useful, maybe you learned something new about these errors, I don't know, leave a comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe, that's always useful. And yeah, sorry, we'll pick back up and hopefully fix something next time. So see you then. I can't fall to sleep, my mind just keeps